women-led innovation in business. Welcome, Janai.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Denise. Thank you, Rudy. It's great to be together on such a beautiful milestone, not just in our lives, but as humanity. We are going through a lot of things in complex situations, challenges, especially as leaders. We have to navigate so much information, so many practices, find the right people, find the right platforms, find the right approaches. That's why in this program, we understand the challenges of leaders in companies, in startups, in academia, as well as in domains where we are doing consultancy in our individual agencies. We invite these leaders to come together because this is bigger than one of us can solve, even if you are a big organization. We need to learn how to collaborate, and we need to bring diversity and learn how to include our whole selves and each other, not just as human to human, but more than human life and this beautiful nature and the intelligence of this nature. The 6 modules that Rudy has explained over the 12 weeks is only a part of our program. This program is an invitation to pilot a future that we believe is so beautiful that we deserve, our children deserve. And in our businesses, we are so used to do either or. Are you doing good? Are you making money? What if we can do both? And this requires a practice because first of all, we need to change the reductionist mindset that we have been practicing. We have to choose one of them. What if we can really harmonize ourselves with the intelligence of life and we can make our businesses even smarter? What if we don't have to give up on our health and well-being? And while doing that, we know also we can leave a good legacy for the future generations. What if doing the right thing is the smartest thing? What if being harmonized with life is the most efficient and optimized way of our beautiful being? What if as humans, we are not just some parasites who need to reduce their harm on this planet, but we are gifts to this life, and all life is waiting for us to awaken to that power, to that intelligence, and the gift that we are. With that conviction, we invite you to participate in this program with your challenges, with your opportunities, with your investment strategies, or maybe as an organization, you are going through some challenging time because of economies, political situation, or maybe a war in your region. Let's come together. In these 12 weeks, we are going to introduce you with our precious pilot partners. And Alex is here, our dearest program partner, Hypha. We have been meeting with amazing people who have embarked on the regenerative innovation pathways and paving those pathways for us for maybe more than a decade. We invited these program partners to collaborate with selected participants to focus on the briefs, on the situation of their organization, community, project, and do the transition together as scenario mapping, strategy design, business model design, experimenting with the decentralized technologies, and reimagining our impact models. The pilot approach is pretty new. Our program is a pilot itself. So as a participant, you are going to be participating in the pilot itself, but we will select 10 pilot partners where we will be focusing on your brief together, and in 3 sessions with our pilot partners, we are going to help you immerse, embody, role play a regenerative future without waiting many years or investing a lot of money, time, and energy, making probably a lot of mistakes along the journey. We were thinking, oh, we wish we could introduce this company with this game changer startup. We were imagining, what if this leader could meet with that genius expert. And then we stepped back and we said, what if we design a program? This can be possible within itself. And that's our invitation. With our pilot approach, we will select 10 projects, and this is going to depend on your willingness, how impactful you want your project to be in your region, not just for your company's profits, but if you have some impact mindset and intention, you have a higher chance of being selected as one of our pilot focus projects. And obviously, your readiness to immerse yourself into regenerative futures together with us. If you meet these 3 criteria within this program without paying extra money, we are going to be working together with you on your project, on your organization's needs, and we will immerse you in a journey where you are going to be experimenting with your decentralized autonomous organization, which Alex will share in a bit with us. We will be designing your conscious business model, which starts in the program as a workshop, but we will continue with you. We will be measuring not only your health and well-being and risk of burnout as an individual, which is included in the program, but we will take it to your team, to your community with softer success, and we will guide you on how to increase your well-being. Within the program, we will also introduce you the authors of Regenerative Enterprise, Niels and Stefan, and on 5 principles, we will see how regenerative your enterprise is and how we can increase your regenerative capacities. Also within the program, we have regenerative coaches, Catherine Long, and we will look at how, as leaders, you can increase your regenerative capacity to take it further in your organization and in your community. These are some of the examples. We also have an impact service partner, Impact Flow from Brazil. With transparency, we will be guiding you on the strategy of your impact model and provide you opportunities to meet with the experts and practice how you can boost your impact model that is future fit and also in harmony with your business model. We will immerse you in some artificial intelligence models that are regenerative and ways to apply it with our ecosystem partners. I think the most delicious part, these are not silo approaches. We are going to be with you. And on our decentralized autonomous organization, each partner and expert will be with you along the journey. The part that is included in the program, if you are selected as a pilot partner, is 3 sessions with all these beautiful partners who are going to be guiding you along the journey. And we are looking forward to getting hands-on and make this journey a regenerative future immersion with our principles, with our ecosystem partners, the technology platforms, but most importantly, a renewed sense of being the gift that we are as humanity and the leaders of the futures that we want to leave as a legacy to our children and to future generations. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Janai, for that wonderful overview of our pilot opportunities and our program. I just wanted to share a little bit. I'm Denise, and I'm a catalyst for regenerative communications, collaborations, as well as community. And I wanted to share a little bit about the exciting invitation to join our community today with this program RX on board and ongoing throughout our other offerings for the year. So this community is so special because we are here to co-create together. We're here to support and inspire each other, not just during the program of RX on board, but beyond. So it's when you join any of our offerings, you become part of the community, an annual community membership that we include in all of our programs. If you're not doing the RX on board specifically this time, we still invite you to join the community and partake in this co-creative journey together. So we believe that when we come together consciously with this intention focusing on regenerative practices for ourselves, for our businesses, for our teams, as well as for the earth. It allows every interaction and engagement that we have with each other, both online and in our courses, to serve as an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to create impact together. So we believe we can co-create this world that we're all yearning for in business as well as in life. And so we've put together an exciting part of our membership, our community, that we call the 13 Superpowers Program. We've partnered throughout the year with an exceptional faculty of experts, scientists, coaches, artists, academicians, and we're bringing you each month a series of what we call superpowers, which are sessions that are run by one of our faculty leaders. And we go into a deep dive into these superpowers, exploring themes that we believe are really integral to regenerative leadership and to business innovation. And they're exclusively offered for you RegenerateX community members. So it's a way to come together even after the courses and programs have ended on a monthly basis and really build community together. Community is the new medicine. And it's a critical component of all of our programs, whether that's Regenerate or RX on Board, the Heron's Journey, Heart Masters, and other things. So we invite you to join us for that. And now I'd like to introduce our special guest today, Alex Prate of Hypha. He's one of our program partners, and he's been engaged in a lifelong journey to building a more regenerative and equitable world. So he, as one of the co-founders of Hypha, which is a global, innovative, passionate about financial well-being, regenerative finance, the future of work, and fostering DAO ecosystems for a thriving future. So welcome, Alex. We'd love to hear more about Hypha and the DAO and the program that you're doing with us. Thank you.
Yes, thanks so much, Denise. Really glad to be here with you, and this program will be amazing. So that's really an exploration, a deep dive, into the possibilities of technology, but also, the mindset that goes with regeneration. And what is beautiful is that we can create, tremendous value as well as large-scale impact, by coming together in those spaces. I have a few slides, if that's okay for me to share. I will need the sharing ability. Yes, thank you. So yeah, I wanted to go through a few slides with you to first, officialize, of course, the strong partnership and the strong alignment we have between Hypha and RegenerateX. We've been working together for a couple of years now, and really looking at what each others can bring to the other. So we think that the combination between all these principles, value, education, knowledge, associated with technology, decentralized autonomous organization technology, can really bring your organization to the next level. And really entering this new world, this new impact economy that we are co-creating here. So as you know, systems, organizations, and people around the world are facing massive problems, right? Rudy, you were talking about that earlier, so I won't spend too much time here, but there's massive pressure, for deep change, not just, new processes, part of the traditional way of doing business, but really reinventing those models in a regenerative fashion. And that's what the DAO can provide as an underlying technology that will open up the space. A DAO is a new form of human organization that really accelerates change, that really creates these connections, this interconnectivity between organization groups, experts, consultants, and different subject matter experts also that can guide you through your journey towards regeneration. And this is an entire journey. That's not a linear process. That's really, organically mimicking nature and being inspired by nature to really go through this journey together. So the objective of this program is really to make sure that you can be guided at each step of the way, so that you can really quickly transition your operations, your models into this regenerative space. Going from the core team to what we hope will emerge really strongly in the coming months, coming years, the civilization shift that will happen in the world. Really quickly, the features so that you get a sense of what a decentralized autonomous organization is. So it's about collective decision-making, agreements, that can be made by the different members of an organization. It's also the value flows organization, in a transparent way, leveraging new technologies such as blockchain for multi-token exchange, and really materializing the value created, but also the impact created by the organization. And it's all about contribution accounting, having a role, in those spaces that is clearly defined so that you can impact positively, the outcomes of your organization. And also treasury management, of course, and all the mechanisms that will transparently allow you to manage, the value that is being created through the process. So your DAO journey, right? It's an entire exploration, and we know that it's a transition. So we want to do it, with small touches along the way, up to a deep dive, into workshops. So what you will experience by participating in the program is a series of Hypha moments. We will experience together how it feels like to make collective decisions. And entering this space, you will see the beauty of it. And if you haven't experienced it before, you will see how the outcome of such decisions can be greater than in a traditional structure of decision making. Then we will have an interactive workshop. I think it's session 12 of the program, where you will experience, directly into the DAO space, how it feels like, to make agreement, to propose policies, to apply for a badge and different capabilities that are available, to make better decisions and to share value and create impact together. There will be also the activation of the RegenerateX DAO, because RegenerateX has, activated their DAO, and we want now to push it to the next level as part of this program. So everybody involved already into the RegenerateX ecosystem, but also willing to participate in the future, are invited to, experience and to onboard, on this journey, so that we can create this impact together. And as Janae was saying earlier, for each of the 10 pilots, we will have 3 additional sessions: a discovery briefing session, a design session aligned with the brief so that we can map it out with the DAO context, and a DAO creation session. And from there, we will bring you into the further journey and really guide you, through, an additional engagement that will be agreed separately. And just to materialize how easy, it doesn't have to be hard. It's just, this organic journey that we are starting together. So your first steps in the DAO are just simple. You create an account, and you will see how we have tried to create a streamlined onboarding. And I think we've achieved, this idea of a really easy onboarding into those spaces. You will get your, DAO wallet and DAO account, and you will be onboarded as a member into the space. You will become then a member. You will apply for badges. You will vote on policies that will be proposed, to experience how it feels like. And you will vote on different, agreements that the group will spontaneously create together. So that's the first immersion that I wanted to share today, so that concretely you see how the program and the exposure to the DAO context will occur. Thanks for your time.
Thank you so much, Alex, for that wonderful overview. And this is the portion in our segment where we would like to invite the audience to share any questions that you would like us to answer. The chat is open for engagement. So if you have questions, feel free to post your questions in the chat there. If you're on LinkedIn, Danielle, who's moderating LinkedIn, will pull in your question into this live stream here so that our panelists can answer them. But again, just as an overview, we're really inviting you to join us today, to join our community, to join this RX on Board program, to raise your hand if you wish to pilot, in partnership with Hypha DAO, which is a wonderful opportunity in and of itself. The program is truly a great value. We're offering a special discount today, and we'll be entering that, actually sharing that code in the chat with you so that you can sign up today. And when you do that, signing up for this first cohort that begins in March also gives you free access to our fall cohort that begins in September. So if you know you're traveling or you might miss some sessions, don't worry, you'll have access to the full replays in this course, as well as the live course that's going to run again in the fall. So it's kind of double value, if you will. And we invite you to do that. So let's see, any questions from anyone in the audience, or perhaps Jenai, if you want to reiterate any parts of the program that are particularly worth noting.
Yes, thank you so much, Alex, for the presentation, and Dennis for really carrying the conversation forward. It's so important, I believe, is to highlight that we used to think this is learning, this is working, this is living, and this is my self-practice. In this program, we invite you to bring your whole selves as a leader, because when we bring our whole selves to the table, then from that state of being with a community of practice who are also on a similar path with you, it becomes really a much healthier soil in the way that we are thinking and in the way that we are operating to innovate with a higher intelligence. And in that sense, I would like to ask Alex about some of our beautiful plans, because although the RX DAO at the moment looks like it is accompanying the program, it is also a way for us to create roles and ways of collaborating together that might not be known and even planned by any of us, but that can come along the journey. Alex, can you please explain to us about how our DAO or the Hypha DAO actually enables people, participants, collaborators, experts, to find roles for themselves and create value and share that value and even vote for that value to be reinvested in the projects that we care about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the beauty of those spaces. Every contributor is actually an active member of this DAO. So everybody has, a role that they can play, and it's all about self-organization, right? So you show up as you are, and you describe the role you want to play in different spaces. So if we talk about RegenerateX, the members of the DAO will be the speakers, the organizers, but also the participants, so that we create a space where everybody, involved in this program is actually included into the DAO. And the way it works is that each member can create a role, can apply to badges so that they are acknowledged for the value they bring, into the space. Really often in our current economic system, we don't acknowledge value. We acknowledge, we have a narrow view on the financial aspects, and even that is not necessarily rewarding the right behaviors, but in a DAO, we are holistic. We recognize all forms of capital, and that's the beauty of it, because a lot of the aspects of the value brought, into an organization is actually dismissed or ignored. But here, with these new spaces, with transparency and everything being recorded on the blockchain, we can really surface, the entire value that has been created by the collective intelligence. And that's really the next level, if you like, of organizing the work together.
Thank you. These invitations might not look maybe so relevant to what you're doing today, but eventually this is where we are going. And this transition takes more than choosing a technology platform and opening a membership. The cultural shift, the thinking shift, and the ways of collaboration needs to be guided and attended with care, with intelligence, in ways that are optimized for your personalized and corporate needs. And in this program, see us as a launching pad, where as a collective, we are going to be attending to those needs of as individuals and as a community, and bring it to fruition through experimentations, where we also encourage not knowing, failing, making mistakes, so that when we are out there and making important decisions where there are big investments, we can be comfortable taking those bold steps forward together. Alex, I would like to ask another question to you. In regeneration, like Rudy also shared, being place-based is very important. And on the other hand, with technological developments, we have been ignoring, like you said, the created value from those places, from those cultures, from those communities, and making things global and so fast and trying to run behind those technologies. How in our program and with our DAO and also as Hypha, are you encouraging and guiding the place-based value circulation and place-based communities and projects?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what is really unique with the DAO space is how it is organized to organically grow, and start from the ground up. We have the ability to create ecosystems of DAOs. And these ecosystems, these DAOs can be anchored into local places, land-based projects, communities, farms, cities, different locations in the world, so that we can create relationship inside the communities, create a bond, so that there's a sense of belonging as well. And we go up to the point where each DAO can create their own tokens, their own representation of value, so that it's completely personalized to their needs, their context. And we don't stop there, because, the local DAOs can regroup under a banner, a bioregional banner, a location, a region, that can be a regional DAO that organizes the activities and the collaboration, at the local level, but, aggregated to the regional level. And then we can go like that, and cover the entire world if we want. But that's always taking into account the context and the local context first. And the community, the human beings and the planet, as a recognition of the responsibility, collective responsibility that we have to create regenerative models in business. So, yeah.
Me, myself, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you. Dennis?
Well, Rudy, would you be willing to share a little bit more about either Earth Elders or parts of the program that you wanted to highlight from a module perspective or a content perspective?
unmute myself. Yeah, sure, of course.
Thank you.
So yeah, we have so many exciting sessions. Actually, the whole process of actually building this program has been a unique experience also for me and Janai. Why? Because we have been previously, I have done a lot of programs and conferences and build a lot of, programs, but it was always about, some ideas, some vision, and then, okay, filling in the boxes. But in this program, however, the unique thing that is also, which is unique about regeneration and also an approach, a different approach that we apply, is that every session became a co-creation with the participants, yeah, with our guest speakers. So, for example, in the start of the program will be together with Jeremy Land, yeah, where we will look in the foundations of regenerative innovation, and he goes very deeply into actually the understanding of like where we are with technology and where we also miss certain parts of humanity and what makes us human. And then we have holistic health pillars, and where we will work with Cara de Lange from Soft to Success on the measurement also, but we also have Michelle Holiday there, which will talk about the age of thrivability and what are the pillars actually of how can we generate, how can you generate your own well-being, and how that can also affect, how can you transport that towards your organization and your teams and your business. The third session will be on integral growth and transformation with Jorge Ferrer. He's one of our favorite psychologists. He may not be so known yet, but he wrote a couple of books on integral growth and transformation. He also did a lot of work with gender identities and fluidity. So we did workshops with him in Ibiza at the time, and he's really, really good into how can we actually also integrate new thinking into our bodies and go really towards real transformative being. The fourth session with reclaiming our humanity will be with Laila June. She's a wisdom teacher or Native American, and she has so much wisdom to talk about that, how we lost connection with nature and how actually you can just bring that back. And we also will have a session with regenerative case studies and lots of projects that we know and people that we know that are already building amazing projects. So there will be one session just with case studies. We will have a specific session on regenerative organizations with Niels de Frager, who wrote a book together with Stephen Vasconcelos on regenerative enterprise. So that will be a really hands-on session also of like, how can we actually reorganize or make our organization more regenerative, and what does that mean? We have regenerative design sessions, which starts with actually exploring metamodernism and conscious leadership of holistic leadership with Brandon Graham Dempsey from Metamodernism and Spirituality. So he will basically put the complexity of life of what we are in now, of the world that we are in, and how we also can find that connection with ourselves and relationships with others, and how we can also transpose that to our businesses. We go into regenerative business design with a workshop that is Janai is so good at. She has been doing for the last, I would say, 15 years, and I have been doing a lot of workshops with her. I think she's one of the best in that. But we also will explore, like, what does that mean? Like regenerative business model. What does it mean to actually create business models based on living systems? So let's go and think out of the boxes and really go with flow, and how can we actually build new systems, new models based on the relationships that we have with our businesses. And then we have a beautiful session also on designing regenerative spaces and cities with Klaus Lunhardt and Adib Dada. They are both architects and eco-architects. And so they work with new materials and nature-inspired design. Regenerative technologies, we will have a Socratic dialogue with some experts and guides and participants, of course, on this topic. We'll have a session with Alex also on decentralized human organizations. And we'll have a session on regenerative and gracious AI with Lisanna Beuk and Ruben Daniels. Then in the end, it only gets better. We will do sessions also. So one of the particular things also that we integrated in this program is that we invite other communities to our program. So for example, Jeremy Lent will invite his community of Deep Transformation Network to work with our community. And so to also reinforce the mycelium, to instigate new connections, and also how can we co-create together. So we'll have a session on indigenous thinking and what can we learn from that. That session will be hosted by Stephen Vasconcelos from the Regenerative Enterprise, and with two wisdom teachers, wisdom keepers, wisdom guardians also from the Earth Elders, Rutendo Ngara from South Africa and Mindahi Crescencio Bastida from Mexico. And then we'll have a session on infinite regeneration with Douglas Rushkoff. And then in the end, we keep the best for the end, which will be all about co-creative sessions where we have some guest speakers and surprise guests on regenerative leadership in practice, and how can we also, you know, create artistic interaction. And then we close the program with celebration, of course. So yeah, I think that's it for now. But as I said, this is a whole co-creation. So every day, whenever there's a new call, we just had one with Laila June a bit earlier today, and every session, every new connection instigates another co-creation. So this is the beauty of this program, I would say. And that's going to be the beauty also of bringing this community together, because the whole program will be a co-creation and collaborative program. So to instigate and to foster innovation, but inspired on nature.
Thank you, Rudy. And we do have a special offer that ends, you know, when February ends. Before the end of the month, if you join now, you'll receive an extra 20% discount. So that code is in the chat box, RX24. And you can go sign up on our Regenerative RX on Board page. That's also in a link in the chat. Excuse me. And you can also feel free to please book a session. If you have more questions, if you'd like to invite some of your colleagues to discuss with you, along with Jenai and Rudy, we have informational sessions that you're welcome to book on our Calendly link on through the page. So feel free to do that. If you have questions about the pilot, or you'd like to propose yourself as a pilot partner, please do that. You can also send an email to our email address, which is also in the chat. And yes, we just invite you to share. And it looks like we do have someone who's willing to share her experience and why she's joined our program and her intentions for the program. Lorinda is here. Lorinda, would you like to share? Let's see. I see her. I see Lorinda.
Okay, I think I'm coming in. Okay.
Okay, wonderful.
Thank you. Of course, I just get more and more excited as everything I hear. And I have been working in the area of sustainability and elements of regeneration for over 25 years. Before that, a lot on innovating you know, all the traditional business model, lean production, what have you. But really, I've been focusing for quite a while on the issue of real stakeholder engagement. And I wrote a pretty detailed book with lots of case studies. And what I'm really feeling now in my heart is that I really want the answer, and what I need to do is really focus on how you bring humanity and heart and soul into the design of communities and relationships and integration with nature. And I feel like where I am is just this massive need to integrate, and that playing a role in that is important. And so I'm really excited about the idea of finding the case examples. I've been benchmarking world-class organizations for my entire career, often wherever in the world those are. And I'm really excited to go more deeply into understanding the leading edge on the margins projects that there are. And in particular, I have two kind of inchoate examples that I would love to get your sense of whether they might be appropriate. And one of them is a development project in Mexico on the West Coast that I've known the people for about 7 years. They were going to purchase one piece of land and then now have settled and just put a major financial commitment behind purchasing it, and are ready to start really laying the groundwork and pulling people together. They speak very much the right values and wanting to do this in a way that incorporates sustainability, incorporates understanding of the local community and the economic development and educational programs and so on. And so I put this out to them. It would be very much starting with the creation of really now this company and integration into both the organization structure and processes and whatever, and foundational principles, as well as then the design and so on. What the project is a housing project, a village retail creation projects, a wellness center, kind of death with dignity, or dignity center is what they're calling it. So it's a Canadian-based company and then also they're talking about hospitals, because there's a big for Mexico. Medical tourism is a big part of their economy, and so on. So that's one of the projects, and I really am impressed with the group of people on the edges of what they're doing, and they want to develop a model that they can use in other places. So that's one. And then the other is, and I have just initiated the very early conversations of this, but the Nature Conservancy Canada, I've worked with both the U.S. Global Nature Conservancy, the Nature Conservancy Canada is a totally separate organization, although they collaborate on some ecosystem projects. But they have, and a really good friend of mine have purchased, I'm from the eastern slopes of the Canadian Rockies right near the border. So bordering glacier to the north is Waterton Park. The Nature Conservancy has been purchasing land around the park for conservation, and now have a pretty large piece of land, which they have I'll try and shorten this up, which they have been working with the Waterton Park under the presumption that they might give it to them. They've recently made a decision that they're going to give it to the Indigenous, give control of it basically to the Indigenous peoples there, who are part of the Blackfoot Nation, but the local one. And there are cattle ranchers in the area, and this is Alberta. So it's very conservative fossil fuel economy along with cattle ranching, and they're very resistant. So that's, you can see my questions there of when, if this was something we were going to try and bring to this community, when would be the right time? Is there a fit, and so on?
Thank you, Lorinda. There is no better time than now, than today. The beautiful two pilot project potentials you have brought to the table out of your experience, relationships, and visions and resilience for decades now from being an academician to being an activist and really bridging the worlds and bridging the transition. I'm very excited to have you in the program. And yes, together, we are going to have a fresh look at them, and we are going to bring our ecosystem partners and see what are the opportunities, resistance areas, and how maybe we support you in this process of leading the transition. What you have shared, although they are in Mexico and Canada, we don't fall short in examples of these big, first of all, investments, which wants to be done with good intentions, with maybe sustainability, regenerative principles, and yet we need to make money with that too. Amazing. And the second one, the very painful transition where the mindset, the cultures, the economies are set in stone, in oil, and yet there is a future that we don't want to ruin with the old habits of thinking and economic models. And you need to move and transition communities by inspiring them, not forcing them per se. So we are very excited. I am very excited for these challenges. I'm looking at Alex, he's smiling, Rudy's smiling, Denise smiling.
Yes, yes.
So that's what I was saying. We need all of us. It is not just Canada. It's not just Mexico. It's not just Turkey. It's not just Gaza. We are in this together, and we are going to learn from each other. And thank you so much for bringing these cases, Lorinda. I think our trailer is only the beginning of a beautiful, lifelong movie for many generations to come. That's the intention. But the time is now. We don't have much time to wait. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And it looks like with that, let's take a collective breath together and thank everyone for participating who showed up on our call today. Thank you to the attendees, the audience. Thank you to our co-hosts, Rudy and Chennai. Thank you to our special guests, Alex. Thank you to Danielle, my co-moderator, facilitator. Thank you to everyone here who lend your time and presence and energy and intentions to co-create this journey with us. We invite you to continue the journey, to please join us at RX on Board, join us on our website and online in our newsletter. If you're not already part of that, we will be sending out follow-up communications from this webinar. We will send you the recording as well as materials to help you decide if this feels aligned for you and your organization at this time. Again, we invite you to join this journey now, even if you think you can't participate fully in the entire March offering, you will be able to also join the September offering for free if you do join now. So 2 opportunities to fully engage and pilot and participate and join our community at RegenerateX and RX on Board. So we welcome you, we thank you, and we invite you to continue the journey with us. Until next time, blessings to everyone. Have a beautiful day or evening wherever you are.
So much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.